Hello and welcome back to today's session. In this pharmacology fundamental session, we are covering the fascinating world of drugs that either mimic or block your body's fight or flight system. To understand this, let's use an analogy. Think of your body as a major city and a sympathetic nervous system run by chemicals like norepinephrine and epinephrine is the emergency response team. Adrenergic receptors are the emergency dispatch centers. These are hotlines or dispatch centers that receive the emergency signals, that is epinephrine or norepinephrine, and tell specific departments what to do. Alpha 1, the traffic controller. It's found mainly on your blood vessels in the city, that's in the periphery. It uses the GQ protein, which is like the go signal for contraction. So it leads to vasoconstriction as it closes off non-essential roads, blood vessels, to reroute traffic, that's blood, to where it's needed the most. This rises the overall city pressure, that's blood pressure. Alpha 2, it's the supervisor or self-regulator. It's often found on the presynaptic side of the nerve. It uses GI protein. It's the inhibit or stop signal. It inhibits further release of norepinephrine. It's the supervisor who says, okay, that's enough. Emergency calls for now. And then we have beta 1 receptor. It's the power plant. It's located in the heart. It uses GS proteins that stimulate signals, which turns on the CAMP. Effects are it increases heart rate, contractility. It ramps up the city's power plant, making the heart pump faster and harder to circulate resources. Beta 2, it's the city's traffic controller or highway patrol. It's located in the lungs and some blood vessels, like those supplying to the skeletal muscle. It uses GS proteins that stimulate CAMP. It relaxes smooth muscle, that is bronchodilation and vasodilation. It opens up airways and expands the major highways, that's the blood supply, blood supply, to get oxygen and fuel quickly running to the muscles. So the direct acting antagonists, head of the emergency services. These drugs are professional direct impersonators of the emergency team leaders, that's norepinephrine and epinephrine. They show up at the dispatch centers and gives order themselves, that's epinephrine. So it's the all-access pass holder. It can hit all alpha and beta receptors, used for severe emergencies like anaphylaxis, a city-wide meltdown, because it addresses multiple problems, low BP, closed airways, simultaneously. And norepinephrine, it's the alpha specialist, strong alpha 1 and beta 1 effects. A great choice for septic shocks, that's as in low blood pressure, as it powerfully constricts peripheral vessels, alpha 1, and boosts heart output, beta 1. Phenylephrine. So phenylephrine is a pure alpha 1 specialist. It's the traffic controller only, used often as a nasal decongestant. It constricts the leaky blood vessels in the nose. Dobutamine, it's a pure beta 1 specialist. It's power plant operator only. It's used to boost heart function in conditions like heart failure. Then we have our indirect acting agonists. So the saboteurs or release agents. They aren't the emergency chiefs, but they are agents who sneak into the storage depots of the city, the nerve endings, and force the endogenous, that's the body's own norepinephrine, out into streets. Amphetamines, so they force the release of stored epinephrine and block its reuptake, keeping it in the streets longer. It's used for things like ADHD because their effect on the central nervous system. Tyrosine, it's found in certain aged foods. It's an agent that needs a clear entry, often blocked by certain antidepressants. If taken with these blockers, it can flood the system and cause a hypertensive crisis, a city overwhelmed by its own emergency response. Mixed acting drugs, the double agent. Ephedrine is the classic example. This drug is a double agent. It can directly hit alpha and beta receptors like a direct chief. It also promotes the release of endogenous NE like a saboteur. The dual mechanism gives it a powerful but balanced effect used for things like asthma or nasal congestion, though its use is highly regulated now. And that's our rapid tour of adrenergic symphony. Understanding where these dispatch centers are and how the emergency drugs act helps you see why a single drug can have such varied effects. So I've given a link of another video in the description. It's relevant because it provides a detailed lecture on location and function of adrenergic receptors and the classification of adrenergic agonists more in a theoretical sense, not in an analytical sense. So do watch that video, keep revising, keep reading, keep understanding. See you next time.